Alright guys, today we're installing a bandsaw blade on the 1412 bandsaw, and contrary to popular belief, changing out a bandsaw blade is actually really easy. We're going to be using the Resaw King blade to demonstrate. That's kind of fun to check out as well. Stick around. Now, in talking with enough woodworkers, I've learned there's actually some fear and trepidation in changing out a bandsaw blade. Some people will tell me they don't like to put a blade on a table saw, or they don't bother putting a dado blade on a table saw. And I think even worse for some people is they really don't want to change out that blade on a bandsaw. Well, why is that? And I think people just aren't accustomed to the basic process, or maybe they just haven't done it enough to become really familiar with it. But I'm here to say changing out the bandsaw blade is such a quick and easy process, there's really no reason not to do it. Change those blades out when they get dull. Look at some of the higher end blades like a carbide tip Resaw King. But even if you're just sticking with a basic blade, you want to have the right blade on for the job. Now this is a 1412, so we'll be using obviously 115-inch length for any blade we use. But you also want to consider blade width. Now, the narrower the width, the tighter radius you can cut, and that's an advantage in some situations. But the wider the blade, the more stable it is, especially for demanding cuts like working with hardwood or doing resawing. We're going to swap out the 1/2-inch Proforce blade that's on the saw now to a 3/4-inch Resaw King. First step would be to unplug the machine from power. There's also a safety key at the power switch you can remove in addition to unplugging the bandsaw. Also, a pair of good sturdy gloves is a good idea, so we'll go ahead and detension the saw and get to work on switching out that blade. That quick release handle sure is nice to detension the blade. So the saw is unplugged here, and we can raise the upper guide assembly out of the way to remove that aluminum throat plate. Open the upper door and flip back the magnetic blade guard. Swing the lower door out of your way. The cast iron table has a leveling device, and luckily this is a ratcheting style handle, so you just drop it down, rotate it into the desired position, and then you can just loosen it and remove that for blade changes. There's also a handy blade insert. It just functions to funnel the air and improve dust collection right around the blade, but you'll want to remove that for blade changes. And then there's nothing to prevent you from removing the blade at this point, but there is something I want you to notice at the back side of the upper cabinet. As you pull the blade forward, you want to make sure it comes through this metal slot without binding. Pull the blade forward from the blade guides around the fence and rotate the blade 90 degrees so it'll easily come through the slot at the front of the saw. Now, if you have enough room to hang all your bandsaw blades unfolded on the wall, that's fine. If not, what you want to do is rotate the blade, regrip it, rotate it once more, and you'll find the blade just automatically goes into kind of this triple loop shape. That's a lot easier to hang on the wall. Want to see it again? Rotate, rotate again, boom. And it makes it a lot easier if you just back your guides out before installing the blade. Make sure the teeth of the blade will be pointing down at the front of the saw, and guide it through that slot all the way till you're in the opening under the throat plate. Then and only then you can rotate it 90 degrees and work it into the saw. Ease the blade back into the fixed guard at the back of the saw and up over the top wheel. Make sure the blade is nicely situated along the bottom wheel and reinstall the blade insert. Retension the blade. This tension gauge inside the upper door makes sure you're set for the width of blade that you're using. It's very important to tension and track the blade before you set the upper or lower guides. By giving it a spin, you can confirm that the blade is centered on the upper wheel. If your blade's not perfectly centered, just loosen the lock knob and make fine adjustments on the tracking knob. When you're done, secure the lock knob. With the table removed, it's easy to see all the moving parts. Of course, you won't need to do that for routine blade changes. Advance the guide block until your ceramic guides are just behind the gullet of the blade and tighten these two knobs. Then advance the thrust guide until it just contacts the back of the blade and tighten this knob. This knob has two positions. You can locate that in the front. If you want that easier to reach, that's a good position for it. But if you angle the table much, sometimes it's beneficial to have that located at the rear of the guide block. Finally, gently pinch the guides together until they just contact the blade and gently tighten those knobs. Check for any excess friction. If it sounds good, you can go ahead and tighten those knobs up by hand. And we'll move on to the upper guide block. To adjust the upper guides, just advance the thrust block until it just contacts the back of the blade and tighten this lever knob. Then bring the whole guide assembly forward until the ceramic guides are touching just behind the gullet of the blade. At that point, you can gently secure your knobs and check for overall friction as you move the blade by hand. If there's not any binding, but you have good support there, go ahead and crank the knobs down by hand. And reinstall the table leveler. And reinstall the throat plate. Alright guys, there you go. The quick and easy process of installing and setting up a bandsaw blade on the 1412 bandsaw. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Boom.